Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, I'm going to blitzkrieg through stacks of vital news in the next segment after Gerald Celente leaves us in about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to take calls for the balance of the broadcast, peppered with some other important news coming up. But I want to hear from you, 800-259-9231, and we'll get you up and on the air today. Gerald, you were making a point again when the break cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, go back to the 1960s, and I was there. I'm 64 years old, so I was prime draft meat in those days. Why were the students out in the streets? It was very simple. They were getting drafted, and they didn't want to go to Vietnam. Why isn't anybody protesting these Afghan and Iraq wars? And by the way, in this midterm elections, not a peep about cutting the military budget or ending the wars. Why aren't they there? Because their necks aren't on the line. Why are they protesting in Europe? Because their necks are on the line in a different way. They have a futureless future. They're in debt. They have no money coming in. The same thing is going to start to happen in the U.S. because these kids are facing mountains of debt. They have these university degrees in worthlessness. They're stuck home living with mommy and daddy. They're smart enough to know it's just like the days of, it's neo-feudalism. Now we have the kings and queens of commerce that are robbing us blind. But the difference is, back in the feudal days, they didn't have the kind of information that you're putting out there. They didn't have information from the Trends Journal. They didn't have all of this knowledge. They see what's going on, and they're angry. So the revolution is going to happen from the students. Because let's face it, when you're 18 to 30 years old, 28 years old, you know, you have these hormones raging through your body. You don't know any limits, and you're angry. You think they're going to be taking to the streets in protest. They have nothing to lose by doing it. They have everything to lose by not doing it. And I want to add one more point into it. As we're looking at these phony employment numbers, they're not accounting for all the young people that haven't gotten into the employment sector because they can't find any jobs. When you add that number in, you're looking at another 3 to 4 million that have never been put into the system.
Well, it's a recipe for disaster. And then you've got so many other people who their parents cook the dinner for them, never make them wash the plates, never make them do laundry, never make them do any work. And then they get into the workforce. I mean, it's not only that, you know, are the globalists cheating us, there's a lot of lazy, entitled people in this country. And now as reality dawns on them, government hopes to organize them into some type of political mob to, you know, be the jackboots to rob those of us that do work. But I just don't see that happening. I mean, an army of entitled slobs, you know, does not make an effective Gestapo.
No, but you might find them at the TSA, you know. No, you're right. No, they won't be able to stop it. It's happening. It's happening. Again, only look at the news. And that's what I'm saying, and I want to make that point again as a trend forecaster. We're looking at the other news going on around the world. Again, Turkey, Tunisia, Greece, Italy, England, France. The students are up in arms. The tuition rates increased 200% in the UK as they're cutting back on everything. Oh, and by the way, we're going to raise the value-added taxes. Oh, and your property taxes, they're going to go up too. We're going to squeeze every nickel and dime out of you. All of a sudden, Alex, these dim-witted bureaucrats who never come up with a bright idea, they know that they have to have the money coming in so they can keep their jobs.
And now they want to cow us to not have political free speech. Gerald Celente, thank you for joining us so much. We'll be right back. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup, insurance, and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. Hi folks, this is Alex Jones and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Patrick, Jeremy, Heather, Bob, your calls are all coming up in the next segment. I wonder if that's the law, like a 6'8" guy with a build like an NFL linebacker who, whenever MSNBC attacked my bullhorn when I was bullhorning Chris Matthews, they cut it with a knife. We called Law up, who was in a nearby area with another bullhorn. He pulled up. We put Luke Radowski up on his shoulders away from their knives. That's actually the extra on my film, The Obama Deception. I wonder if that's the Law from Colorado or somebody else known as the Law. We'll see coming up in the next segment with calls. We don't screen your calls, so I don't know if that's Law or not. But you can, again, see him in the extra of The Obama Deception or Alex Jones bullhorns Chris Matthews, and you can see it in that video as well. They got so mad when I was bullhorning their live broadcast because they were outside. It's free speech. And then they attacked me, they hit me, they punched me, and they cut the wire, try to pull the bullhorn away. I call Luke and Law up. They pull up. They got 2 more bullhorns. I start bullhorning. Luke climbs up, and he's not a little guy, up on Law's shoulders. And that was some classic. And I said, go ahead and break these bullhorns. We'll bring 4 back. See, that's the fighting spirit. Okay, let's get into the serious news here. Years ago, I interviewed these people, and they will not come on the show now. And whereas they do get their First Amendment, people do deserve privacy at their events on private property. And I have no doubt watching these people and researching them, I believe, it's my opinion, that they're being financed by the government to create a pretext to shut down free speech. There's no way. And I've watched them on television. They giggle, they snicker, they act demonic. They act very, very demonic. And I challenge them to come on this show. They're very, very demonic. I mean, just my sixth sense, when I look at them, I think these are demonic people. These are goblin-like, giggling, snickling creatures. I mean, if you were going to go to a funeral and say America's been judged while we have dead troops, that would be bad enough. But it's your First Amendment, and I'll defend that right. But to then giggle and snicker and enjoy it, and I mean, it's filthy. And now the Westboro Baptist Church to face angel wings, bikers, and legislation at 9-year-old Tucson funeral. And, you know, I wonder how these people would like it if folks were bullhorning their house every day. I wonder how they would like it. Again, these are extreme tests of the First Amendment. It's done either out of complete craziness or I believe it's staged. And, again, it's comments like this. And I've seen it on video. I don't just trust the news when I see stuff. I've seen similar quotes by this guy. Speaking in a video about the shooting in Arizona, Westboro leader Fred Phelps said, "Thank God for the violent shooter." A guy in a Grim Reaper outfit, you know, a guy who is on psychotropic, you know, hallucinogens. I mean, this is sick. That little 9-year-old girl. I'm telling you right now, I believe in the First Amendment, but we had a First Amendment back in the old days when if you said to somebody, your wife is a whore, if the person thought it wasn't true and had honor, they would punch you in the face, basically slap you, and say, "I will meet you in 1 hour at this public park, and you better come with your musket." Or you can pick a handgun, or you can pick a sword. And the tail end of that is the archetypal 1860s, 70s, you know, guys in a bar, and they say, "Let's go out and settle this," and then they pace 20 paces off and then draw. Then they made that stuff illegal. You know, in the old days, I mean, even when I was a teenager, most of the time, cops pull up and there's a fight going on. If people aren't stabbing each other and stuff, they just break it up. Nowadays, they send you to jail for that. But I got to tell you, sitting there saying, "Thank God for this little girl getting shot," and they've got an obsession with homosexuality. You know, I can see America being judged for abortion, but it's this watching weirdos get all giggly-faced and all excited and lick their lips. I mean, they just look like every other demon-possessed person I've seen, basically. They've got that, you know, in my gut, my spirit, these are bad people. These are bad, 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 bad people. And it's my First Amendment to say it about them. Make me sick. And their whole cause isn't about teaching people that a lifestyle, you know, is unhealthy or that it's destructive or robs you of the joy of children. It's not a loving message to these people. It is a message that will only make all of those people's lifestyles seem that much better and good compared to you saying how great it is that a 9-year-old is dead. You make me want to throw up, and I would never go to any of these demonstrations to cover this because I don't think I could control myself. I mean, it's one thing to go out and protest dead troops. That's bad enough. But when you start getting all happy and giggling and smirking and hopping up and down like a demon, all right, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to stop right there before I start saying more stuff. I'll tell you something about this family. I think they protest too much. Looking at them, I'm not even going to get into it. These people make me want to throw up. Speaking in a video about the shooting in Arizona, the pastor said, "Thank God for the violent shooter." And you've got a big Democrat writer, we covered it yesterday, saying that since this family doesn't want to use their daughter's death to get guns or free speech, that they should have their child taken from them.